Steven, I saw on RTV when you were talking a couple of weeks ago about the different challenges the players face now that they are champions. What kind of thing do they need to adopt in their mentality going through the season now that they have this added pressure of being the champions?
Well, I think first and foremost we have to embrace that pressure of being last year's or last season's champions. I think it's important the players remain humble and grounded and keep that hunger and try and keep the level of consistency we've played at over the last 12 months, which has been real high level. The evidence on what I've seen in training and certainly over the weekend is the players look ready to go again. We've got a near enough fully fit squad besides Ryan Jack and Alfredo Morelos, so in the coming weeks we should have everyone fit and available, so we're in a good place to go and attack this season, and it's a really exciting time.
Stephen, in some ways, looking ahead to this season, is it harder to defend this title going in due to the sort of pressure and expectation, or is it just that pure enthusiasm carrying you into the early parts of this?
We are very much enthusiastic. No one's talking about pressure. In this environment, everyone's talking about the excitement of going into the new season. Really looking forward to that. The challenges ahead. In the next couple of weeks, we've got a couple of league games, an important cup game domestically, which we want to really get out the blocks quick and start the season domestically very well. And obviously, sandwiched in amongst them important games is two massive Champions League qualifiers. So what a time, what a moment to be involved with this club. It's very exciting. So we very much see the pressure as an opportunity, and we want to really embrace it and look forward to it with excitement rather than fear.
Steven, are you happy with the balance of your squad now, and have you been making signings thinking further ahead in case you do get into the Champions League or European football, or in case you lose any, or what's the thinking at this stage with the window still open?
I think things have slightly changed, with the rule change of only being allowed 6 outfield subs now, and obviously 1 goalie. That's obviously too shy from last year in terms of the domestic. It's slightly different from a European point of view because you can name 12 subs. So it's something with this discussion at the moment. I'm really happy with the squad at the moment, what we've got in the door. Obviously there's people to come back into the squad. Ryan Jack has trained with the group now for 2-3 days and he's had no issues. He's got one more appointment in about 10 days time for the full green light to go into aerial challenges and full throttle football, so that's going to be like a new signing to us hopefully in 10 days as well. Alfredo, obviously once he's followed the government guidelines and the COVID situation, he'll join the group sometime next week. So the squad's really strong as it stands. If there's not a need to add to it, I won't do it. But it's something that we'll consider in the coming weeks, and we'll see how we start the season. We'll see how the qualifiers go. It might be something that we come to at the back end of the window.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Mark.
When Graham Souness took over at Ibrox, it was described as a Souness revolution, whereas your tenure, it's been more of an evolution. Having won the league, have you set new goals for this season?
I think it's very much a case of the club setting new goals. At the end of every year, we have quarterly catch-ups with the board from a management team point of view. And once we were champions middle of March, it was very much a case of sitting down with the board and resetting, fresh remit, fresh challenges. They'll obviously remain private, but I don't think you'd have to be a rocket science at Rangers to work out what they are. It's basically a case of going for everything that's available, and that's the way we like it, that's the way we want it, and that's why we've been trying to prepare the strongest squad possible to attack everything on all fronts.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Stephen, there was a report claimed that Connor Goldson had agreed a new deal. Is that almost done? Can you enlighten us?
I'm not sure that report's true. I'm not aware of the report. Myself and Connor, as I said a couple of weeks ago, got a really strong relationship. Connor's in a good place. He's really happy and settled here. There's nothing to report on Connor's contract situation at the moment, but there's certainly no panic or worry as far as I'm concerned. What will be, and when the time's right, I'm sure Connor will be ready to sign it.
Stephen, Livingston tomorrow are always a tough test. David Martindale, obviously, they had a tremendous season under him last season. What sort of challenge do you expect tomorrow?
Davey will have them fired up, he'll have them well organised, well drilled. I remember a text message conversation I had towards the back end of the season when he was desperate to be the first team to beat us and take that invincible record away from us. So I know he'll be fired up, he'll be ready, and he'll certainly have his players ready as well. But I've got a lot of admiration and respect for Davey. Livingston, since I've come into this job, have always been a tough challenge, home or away. And they're a team that never lie down, and you know, we've got to respect the challenge that's coming our way tomorrow.
And I was wanting to ask you about Charlie McCann. There's reports in the press this morning that he's undergone a medical. Can you give us any update on that?
Yes, I can give you an update, but I'm not sure it'll be the update that you're looking for. We're certainly aware of Charlie McCann. He's a really good talent, a strong talent. You know, it is close, but there's nothing to report on that really. That will be a B team signing, just for everyone's information. And then obviously as a management team, if that happens, we'll follow him really closely. We'll analyse where he's at, and once he's ready for an opportunity, it'll certainly present itself.
Stephen, in terms of team news, is the likes of a reborn Roof ready to come back?
We've got a fully fit squad training today. The only absentee is Alfredo Morelos. Obviously Ryan Jack can't be selected. We've got 2 or 3 players that we're going to make late decisions on whether they're ready for the squad just now, or we have to be patient for a few more days. They've had slightly different programmes to the rest of the group because they arrived late, but I'll make a decision after training on them. The likes of Hollander and Barisic and Kamara, we'll make decisions on them. But in terms of who's fit and available to train today, we're 99% fit and available and ready to go.
You've obviously shown great trust in Jermain Defoe as a player, and now that you've given him the coaching role, was that something that you had thought about, or was it something you found that Jermain was naturally slipping into in the training pitch?
I mentioned this to Jermain the very first time I sat down with him in London before he came to us in the first place. Obviously, he was around, I think it was 36, 37 at the time at Bournemouth, and trying to sell the project and the opportunity to Jermain to come up to Glasgow to finish his playing days, but also give him the platform and support him in that transitional moment to become a coach. Obviously, we very much respect that he had to make the decision. We didn't want to force him down a certain road to suit ourselves. But this is a guy who's been an ultimate professional. He's had a top career. We believe he's still got stuff to offer us in terms of being a player, but he loves the game. And I think at the moment in his head he's deciding, you know, do I want to be a coach? Do I want to be involved in the TV? But he loves the club, he loves the supporters, and he wants the opportunity to play in front of a full house again at Ibrox, defend the title first and foremost. And obviously if he's not named in a squad or around the group, he's very much going to be a big support to me and my coaching staff moving forward, because he's got so much to offer. So it's an exciting one for everyone concerned, and we're all going to have to adapt and support Jermain in this transitional moment. But I mean, what a club and a place for that transition to take place. He's excited about it, I certainly am, and we'll all see how it pans out. But first and foremost, he trains and prepares as a player as well, because we still believe there's goals in Jermain Defoe.
Stephen, you got your business done early, which no doubt will please you, and John and fashion coming in. I just wondered, have you done that with a view to preparing yourself for any inevitable offers for your players? I mean, there's a bit of speculation surrounding Glenn and his future.
No, not at all. The plan to add Fashion and John and Namdi was very much a case of trying to make the 11 and the squad better, first and foremost. That's always the priority. We're very much aware of how this club works in terms of if certain bids land, obviously you have to recycle, that's the way it is. I don't think that'll change. But we don't make signings, or we don't prepare the group for people going out. I certainly don't. I prepare it to be as strong as possible to give us the best chance of success on the pitch. But I'm not shying away from the fact that if the right bid landed for any of our players, I'm sure I'm going to get a call from the board. But I'll cross that bridge when it happens, because at the moment we haven't had one single bid for any of our players besides George Edmondson, and we accepted that bid. There's a couple of things brewing in the background, but for none of the big players that have been mentioned in terms of speculation over the last few days.
when you expect Alfredo to be available for you?
Well, we're going to have to analyse his condition when he comes out of the hotel. I think he's still got another 5-6 days remaining in the hotel. We've managed to get some fitness stuff to Alfredo in terms of a bike, in terms of some weights and equipment for him to train alone in his room. So we'll analyse where he's at in terms of his fitness. We'll do the fitness tests and all the hard stuff on Alfredo when he arrives on day one, and then we'll make a decision from then. But he is fit and available in terms of being ready to start training once he comes out.